like an afterthought of just something I'll do to a note. It's every note has to have great, deep, wide, considered vibrato. So it means a lot. So it's good. So like guys that really want to play fast, get fast. Guys that want to have really great vibrato, get great vibrato.
I certainly, I think I let the note ring for just a fraction of a second, so it's not too much in your face.
Do you know who else does that?
Who's that?
Eric Clapton.
Yeah, well, Clapton was probably one, again, really big influencer of mine. But you know, you can, even B.B. King's got a really weird kind of vibrato. I mean, I can't really do it, but his vibrato is the very end of your finger pushed on. And it's a very rapid, in fact I don't even know if it did it justice.
Also, you can't see from where you're sat, but if you look down at the neck here, when he's doing that, his hand comes away, he's free-handing it.
But yeah, I don't know, so just...
It's also something in the way you pick, isn't it, I think?
I do like to pick, I do think it's important. Again, it's different, isn't it? Because, you know, I suppose what I work on with my, you know, when I'm trying to play is I do work on what can I achieve with the minimal scales that I know, you know, which is essentially, I know the pentatonic scale in probably 3 or 4 positions, and I'm quite comfortable kind of going between the positions. But that's about the limit of where my knowledge stops. So
well, but you could say that there are 12 notes to use.
Yeah.
Pentatonic, including a flat fifth, is 6 notes. So you're using half of the available notes, but when you bend them, you get all the notes.
But yeah, so I mean, I suppose I do. I mean, a guy sent me a stone plectrum, you know, earlier on in the year, and I spent ages kind of just into this kind of, you know, pick hard, pick soft, you know, pick across the string, dig into the string to get some different. I should turn the volume up. You'd hear what I was doing then, wouldn't you? But you know, that's just picking. So.
I think Capt was a very considered player. He's not letting his hand do shapes. He's always rehearsed. He's considering it before he does it, and you can hear the thought process a little bit like Guthrie Govan does. You can everything he does.
That's the first and the last time
what
my
I mean
name
is,
will ever be mentioned.
Well, no, I mean obviously completely different players, but you can almost witness the fitness of Guthrie going, I choose to do this now. I now choose to do this. You do the same thing. You consider what you do. You don't just play.
I spoke to Guthrie the other day as well, and we're hoping to have him here for a clinic at some point in the new year. Once he decides who his new guitar brand is going to be.
Decide? What does it mean once he decides? Is it not
well,
public?
He's left Sur.
Is it not public?
Hasn't,
everyone knows. Who's he with? Everyone knows.
It's not a done deal yet. They are courting in the sort of lover's sense. But yeah, so that would be.
What amp brand is he with?
He's not, as far as I'm aware.
He's not with an amp brand?
No. I was, in fact, you know, interesting one. I was talking to him about. I was talking to him about kind of brands and what was important to him about a deal, and he's not money motivated at all. And what was important to him, and I think these were his exact words, was when I'm touring in Venezuela, you know, and my amp blows up, I just need to have a company that can be like, there you go, here's a replacement amp. So I think he's probably just going to end up going with like a mega brand, like a Fender, Marshall, just purely and simply because when he's in Venezuela, you can't get, you know, certain boutique kind of brands.
It's like in Dune when they use the weirding module to morph things. He no longer needs
exactly
the weirding
like
module.
That.
He's bypassed weirding modules.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's exactly
like
I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
who else might come down for a clinic? What about Porcupine?
Stephen Wilson.
Who?
Stephen Wilson.
Stephen Wilson.
Porcupine Tree.
Ah, well, I think I know the drummer in Porcupine Tree, but I don't know the guitar player.
Who did you have phone up recently?
I don't know. Oh, the guy from Feeder. He phoned me up. He was cool. Grant.
Andy James.
Probably not Andy James. He would play so fast the store would melt, I think.
We'd have to rebuild it again.
I don't know. There's I mean, you guys, if you're Facebook fans of Andertons or you're just general shoppers here, you know we had maybe a year this year. We had Eric Johnson, Larry Carlton. Yeah, we had Albert Lee. We had Jerry Donahue. We had a packed year. We had Bernie Marsden. We had Matt Schofield. So actually I've got a shitload of things to do to try and top that next year, because so far I've got none. So if you're famous and you play the guitar and you want to earn some easy money, come and do a clinic at Andertons.
Yeah. Suggest people.
No, don't suggest people. Phone them up and
Mark
say,
Tremonti.
Yeah, he would be cool.
Mark Tremonti should come.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Marty Friedman, if you can.
We'd love to have
crowbar
someone.
him
Paul,
away
Paul
from
Gilbert would be a good
Japan.
one.
Yeah.
Paul Gilbert would be a good one.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
So, what other questions were there? Was there a Tinterweb one?
Man!
You worked with Eddie Kramer, who works with Hendrix.
Yes.
What was the most important thing you took away regarding advice for recording
Ah,
sessions?
so much I can tell you about that. I could talk for hours, and I will now. The thing about Eddie Kramer is he's a regular dude, like all of us, but he has an ability with his hearing where you feel so listened to beyond the scope of normal hearing. He hears what you're feeling while you're playing. So you might play something and go, but you go, yes, it sounded fine, but it felt a little bit apprehensive. What are you thinking about? And he'd be like, what the fuck do you mean? You know, oh yeah, my dog died a year ago, and it reminded me of this thing. And he said, don't think about that. Think about the Doritos you're about to eat, or think about what was that massive thing we had that was amazing?
Burrito.
Oh, burrito. That's what I meant to say. That's an amazing burrito. But he literally, he can hear the feeling behind what you're playing. It sounds like I'm talking arse, but I'm really not. I'm serious. And it makes such a difference to the overall vibe of a tune. And just being in a room by a guy that's recorded Steve Vai, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, anyone that I like and admire, and then having him produce you.
When we were in America, we were walking down Venice Beach or something on the day our flight was leaving, and Rob goes, Lee, there's someone on the phone who wants to talk to you like that. Who's it? Eddie Kramer, like that. He goes, hi, Eddie Kramer. I was like, oh my god, it's Eddie Kramer. Like, only like, the closest thing I'm ever going to get to actually sort of meeting my complete guitar idol. You know?
That's
like,
the thing.
I'm making some pedals. I'll talk to you. I'll put you back to the Chappers now. No, it's a wanker, like that. Exactly like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just a straight up dude, but you going through an experience of being that listened to makes you listen to yourself more and makes you aware of what you're doing when you play. The other thing is, he taught me about breath playing.
Really?
Yeah. Who knows about breath playing? A little tiny bit maybe. Blues guys, because he's cut his teeth, he's renowned and known for, bands that play blues and rock. He's also done things like Loudness, Japanese rock metal bands and stuff, but he's well known for, Jimmy. And something that he taught me how to do is when he makes you stand up when you're playing, but you can't just stand up and play like this. He's like, no. Power stance, a little bit lower, breathe diaphragmatically, and let your shoulders go, and now play. Because you find yourself rooted, so your rhythm's more solid. And then when I was playing lead, if I was playing lead passages, I would exhale when I'm playing. When I run out of breath, you don't play. And you breathe in. And then you play more when you breathe out. So you're playing as if you were singing. So you're linking the guitar playing to actual patterns of speech, and it gives you, I'll say that again, I feel awkward. It gives you, what it's giving you is natural breath phrasing. So that you're not just going to go... Because there aren't many singers that, that would do that. And what the objective, if there is an objective, for that style, that genre, is to play and phrase it woman tone. Take the drop at the shot.
We had a long time ago actually, I think while he was still in Mr. Big, we did a clinic with Paul Gilbert. Massive clinic, 500 or 600 people turn up. And I think he's probably one of the best teachers, guitar teachers ever. His background is, what's the big American? Berkeley. His background, I think he was a teacher at Berkeley before he made it big as a guitar player. And he said, and this is why I always think drummers and bass players make interesting guitar players. He said, this is something everybody can do. And he said, just think about an interesting bass drum riff, like instead of if you're playing, in a groove, like my classic kind of, I'll turn my amp off now, let's turn it back on. He said, think about, instead of just playing a monotonous kind of, just think about you've got a bass drum and you're going like dum 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 dum, just some interesting kind of pattern, and then go anything. Just anything that makes you go not. You know, it's just like,
yeah,
it's just boring. It's boring and shit. And anyone can do that, but you just got, and it's literally just a thinking. Just do it differently.
Yeah, I use limitations. Just limit yourself. If you've got a scale, so for example, if I got E Lydian, don't use all of the notes, especially on D, because if you use all the notes, you're going to get shell shocked and confused, and where are you going to root yourself? But if you got a, that'll do. Just that would do. That's a little a figure. It's a piece, and I've limited myself to one area of that particular scale, and I'm not thinking of it as a scale anymore. I'm thinking of it as an area with some intervallics that cause that modal feel.
Someone was at the Larry Carlton thing here, weren't they? Didn't someone say that we had Larry Carlton? But he said a very similar thing. He was talking about, you know, someone said what scales and modes and everything you do, and he said that's just all. He didn't say shit. He said stuff. He said, to me, modes and scales is all stuff. He said what's important is music.
Yeah.
And what he basically meant was, don't worry about the fact that it's a scale or a mode. Just find some notes that work and sound musical. And
a lot of people mistake the
what you
tools that you use to build as the end result. And they forget that it's the house you make, not the tools you've got. So you might have an amazing, you know, an amazing tool at picking fast, or an amazing sort of, you know, vibrato tool, or an amazing chord knowledge, but they're tools. And a lot of people mistake the tools for the end result, which is why you get players like.
Careful. Who?
What?
Ah, yeah. That's what I mean, don't you?
You're mistaking the tools for the end result. You know, you can have insane ability, but write incredible music.
It's a wig as well, apparently.
Because a lot of people don't know Jimi Hendrix. I'll give you some interesting facts about Jimi Hendrix. Who likes Jimi Hendrix? Yeah. Okay, good. That's helpful. So, interesting.
He's alright. Yeah.
He's
It's not bad.
He used banjo strings on the bottom three, and often they're the same gauge. Very, very thin, 8 gauge. And then these were whatever you could find. Because you couldn't get strings, really. They were hard to find back in the sort of 60s. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah? So banjo strings here, and then guitar strings here, and they were often the same gauge as well. And they'd be tuned down a semitone, and he was a massive jazz nut. He knew all his jazz theory back and forward. He could play the chord changes effectively and fast. Did you hear him do that? Oh,
It's like Jimmy Page, isn't it? Jimmy Page was super classically trained. In fact, I think if you go back prior to the Zeppelin stuff and look at all the guitar music that was coming out of the UK around about that time, it was either Jimmy Page or Jim Sullivan sessioned on every single track.
Yeah.
Like literally every single track.
They were the only guys who could afford a guitar.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
but they did everything. Could do all the jazz standards, the whole thing, and then all
But
of a
all
sudden,
that knowledge, all that ability, and then they just went, let's just write some music, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's chop down
Let's
mountains.
cut to ads and then do the last
Ad break.
30 minutes or so.
Is that it? Did we do an ad break? Well, ad break. We're well over time here as well.
Are we really?
Well, we've been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes. So
Who's enjoyed themselves so far?
Yes!
Would you come to this kind of thing again?
Yes!
Even if you had to fly from Aberdeen? Wow, that's amazing.
So, well, think up your bestest questions because we'll do the ad break. We'll do another 15 minutes after that.
Yeah,
maybe a song.
we'll do FAQ. You can ask an alpha question too if you want.
Oh yeah.
And,
Basically, this is the best entry-level drum kit you're going to get.
Okay.
It has 10 incredible sounding kits, which are of the highest quality samples from actual Yamaha drums.
Acoustic sets
Acoustic sets and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's got songs that you can play to, and it's got training functions just for
That's
you.
what I'm talking about.
That's what you need.
Via this app which you've got running on an iOS device there.
You basically can press play, and it can tell you exactly what drums to be hitting. It's exactly like.
Come on then, let's try it. We've got to see if it actually works, haven't we?
For you.
Oh man, am I putting myself on the spot or
You
what?
are a bit. Come on, let's
Right.
do this. That's it.
Oh my god!
If you want, we can slow it down.
No, it's alright, I'll get that. Hang on, wait.
So, that's it.
Oh Almost.
Ladies and gentlemen, professional drummers.
Almost.
Almost
Is that almost that?
It's quite worrying, isn't it? Just how much career-ending footage is actually out there. We haven't done that last one yet, have we? Or have we done that one? Yeah. We've got to make another one up.
I don't know which one.
Have we done that one? Is he actually doing it?
You go first, bud. Please sign these NDAs as you leave the door.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
we can,
I hereby declare you can use anything.
your voice,
video, ever.
it all belongs
Otherwise,
to
you know what
us.
happened? We'll get like Pink Floyd had with The Wall, where all the kids
They
that
made
sang
lots
The
of
Wall
money.
53 years later went, you can't use my voice in that song.
Did that happen?
Yeah. It was like, but we have been for like 40 years. And they all went, well, you have to pay us then, won't you? It's like, so we're not doing that, I can tell you.
40 years worth of child
Well,
voice.
I don't know, how's The Wall? It's pretty old, isn't it? 30 years old, 40 years old?
Well, we've practically come to the end of our live...
amazing.
What was that?
Again.
Neurons, no?
We've practically come to the end of our live excursion.
We have.
Our musical
It's gone
journey.
so fast.
It's gone really fast.
Ooh. Did you hear that? Yeah.
But when we work together, it always goes fast, doesn't it, Capt?
It does. We have great times together, don't we?
Boom!
We're so lucky. It's
So really wet hand.
I have. That's the secret of my vibrato.
Schlick. So, do you have any...
Yeah, this is it. This is your last chance until the next Christmas special.
We have some more questions from the live audience, maybe one from the internet. So let's take a question from the internets. Internet people, do you have a question for myself, Captain, Rabia Massad, Dave Hollingworth, Ben Meinl, or anything else?
Oh, you didn't.
Dan, choose a good one.
I'll try when there is one.
Okay.
There's a delay.
I can't believe we've got 1,000 people watching and no one wants to ask a question. There we
Wow.
go. Sylvie wants to ask a question.
Is there going to be a special guitar for elves next year?
Yes.
Yes, Chapman guitars.
That will make the
I'm actually, you can help me. I'm considering
the
bringing out.
ELF1.
Should we do that?
What, the
Let's
ELF1?
call it an ELF. An ELF-1.
An MILF. I'm sure there's a ELF has got some MILF.
I'm thinking about bringing out an ML1, but with one humbucker and one volume knob, and nothing else. Obviously the wood. It's because it would be like...
You've got this
super,
80s Kramer single
yeah,
pickup, you know,
yeah,
that no one will buy.
If it had one humbucker and one volume
Let's do a
knob,
poll,
and it was
market
just,
research.
Would you, if it was like super, how much is a regular ML1 currently retailing?
$369.
If it was like
I don't know,
$299?
Maybe $299, something like that.
Would you get it at $299?
So
Get it now.
You'd get it right
get it now.
Yeah.
I'll build one.
What we can do is we can do limited runs of like variations in the theme. So we could do like ML2s with passive Seymour Duncans.
I think that's what we'll do. I mean, it's kind of been weird for us because Rob and I have known that ML1 and ML2 is coming in January for like months, and we feel like we're looking for the next. You know, what's the next thing? What can we do? What's the next thing? Of course, without realizing they haven't actually arrived yet. So there's obviously like this. There's 250 or 300 odd already sold from that shipment. So it's kind of. I think we have to constantly kind of pull ourselves back and go, let's just wait and see what the reaction is to that, because we might get people saying, wow, this is awesome, and you should do it with this, you should do it with that. But it's very hard because it kind of feels like the guitars have been around for ages for us because we've had all the prototypes.
They haven't come out.
But they haven't even come out yet.
Who's excited about ML3?
Yeah.
That's the one.
ML3 will be cool. I think that'll be ML7, then ML3, and then
Chapman bass.
Chapman bass.
bass. Yeah, well that project came.
And what about a Rabia Massad signature model?
Yeah.
Yes! Well, you'll be glad to know there is one.
Yeah.
And you'll be getting it probably a couple weeks' time.
Will it look like the awesome Washburn?
Yeah, it's kind of inspired by that.
Tell them exactly what it is.
It's going to be it's quilt top, alder body, natural satin finish. So it'll be really like not sticky on the neck and anything like that. And double humbucker, Floyd Rose, ebony fretboard, 22 fret. Through neck as well. It's not a bolt on, so it should be really, really nice. I can't wait to get it.
And my SIG is a carved top telly.
Except we can't use that word.
I don't use that word.
No, you don't.
Telemetry device.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes.
It's a carved top
Anyway,
T-type.
Question from the internet.
The best questions would vary from what's your favourite pedal to what's your favourite porn website.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what one of those is.
800 people and none of them have got an imagination.
But I can tell you, you know when you get a dead ass and then you get...
Is that your favourite porn site?
The other bit goes dead as well.
What I love about the MX-49 is that it gives you remote operation. It gives you, MIDI programmable controls that work hand in hand with your digital audio workstation. Just talk me through some of the functions.
Okay, so the MX-49 is a standalone synthesizer in its own right. It features sounds from our flagship motive synthesizer used by many professionals. What I really like about this though is that you can load your own music onto a USB stick, so you can have your beats and tunes that you've produced in Ableton Live, Logic, Cubase, whatever you're using. Just load them onto a USB stick. You'll start playing back your song from your USB stick.
Like this. I think we need Bert to play us out. Little Hammond, action. Bert, Chris, thank you very much.
No problem.
MX-49.
I'm currently collecting these Jimi Hendrix pedals from Dunlop MXR Dunlop. And I got the last remaining octave one. I really love this Univibe. I might want to purchase one of those soon. That's the Dunlop Univibe here at Andertons.co.uk.
What's the drive pedal that you're using?
Wampler.
Yes.
Pinnacle.
That's a good pedal. That is a good pedal.
Wampler are a great pedal brand. Pinnacle. This isn't a Pinnacle. This is the Dunlop. But also, I'm interested in this. Pass it to me. Thank you. Go away. It's amazing. And I love chorus, and I haven't got a chorus pedal, which is really wrong. Because I'm like 80s boy, but I haven't got a chorus pedal. What's that about? Nirvana.
Nirvana. And my favourite pedals, assuming you're even interested, I'm going to tell you anyway.
Sylvia's a big fan of Nirvana, so she got excited when I said Nirvana.
I think my favourite sound that I've had all year has been Fender Blues Junior and the Eternity drive pedal from Love Pedal with a Les Paul or a Strat. If you like that Fender-driven tone, if you like, which we haven't really got today here, but that's been amazing. Or the kick-ass one, if you just want guaranteed quality drive, full tone. This is a Plimsoll, that's probably my favourite, although a lot of people will say the OCD's their favourite. They're both great.
What was my favourite one? What was the one I asked you for?
Was the full tone. Oh, the Keeley modded wah-wah.
Keeley modded wah, best one planet
This
Earth
is amazing. This is such good value. The MXR carbon copy. It's like this uber cool. If you've been here, and I've had it on pretty much most of the demo, it's this very analogy kind of. Oh, look at that! I keep turning my amp off. Can you hear the way it squidges as it delays? And it's got a modulation button as well, so if you want to kind of make it go, you get the modulation on the delay. And these are, I can't remember, they're under £100, aren't they? £135.
Rabia really wants to get one of those new Strymon delays.
The Strymon timeline.
Yeah. We are in contact with Strymon right now, looking to stock their pedals. They're jolly expensive though, so you better start saving, sell some albums or something.
And I'm looking forward to buying a Chapman guitar. Yeah, and an EV, a 5150.
Yeah, you like that. They're not EV, they're EVH.
I said EVH.
I thought you said EV.
No, I said EVH.
So, and I've really enjoyed using all the Cornford amps. I love them. It's hoping to do a bit more with them next year.
2 questions from the floor, and then we're going to call it a day.
And then go to the pub. So if you're watching online,
you can't go to the pub.
Open the thing and pretend.
Yeah.
But if you're actually here,
get drunk with us, unless you're underage, in which case don't.
No. Right. Questions from the floor. There's 2 there. Go.
What's happening with the Chapman bass? When are we going to see that?
Dave, where are Dave, come here. Sit on the arm so you're about the right height.
I have to say, I probably have to take the blame for the reason that this project hasn't moved faster, quicker.
Not taking any blame, buddy.
No, because it's. Before Dave explains it for you, because I think it is going to happen. But I suppose I'm very conscious of the fact that we've got a very limited resource. Literally me and Rob, and some help from some other people who, and we had probably 6 guitars that we wanted to get out, and I also felt that the guitars were more credible because Rob's a guitar player rather than a bass player. Dave's kind of, who was the name of the guy in America that started? Ross. So we kind of had a guy that was enthusiastic and wanted to get on board, but we had a sort of a distance relationship with him, didn't we? So it's like we didn't
he's
know.
a great guy.
Really
but we
cool guy.
Locally
we needed someone that we.
Dave's
could have
all right
on the team.
at playing the bass, so we just go for.
Yeah, tell him about it, Dave.
Well, yeah, basically we started the voting a couple of weeks ago with the 100 design team, and I think, was it yesterday or the day before? I think the voting finished.
Before we ate all that meat and alcohol.
Yeah. We closed the poll and have come up with the rough shape of the body now, which is cool. So at some point, probably tomorrow or something, we'll probably shoot something.
Yeah, we'll shoot it.
And get that up on YouTube so you can see the new shape and that sort of thing. And we submitted 4 designs, I think, to the whatever isn't. What's he do?
I have a guy called Svi Wheeler. Svi is an absolute legend. Does all my design work for me. Hi, Svi. He's actually currently running a campaign to raise money to make a book of naked people, which is a good thing. But whenever you see a blueprint image of a Chapman outline, what that is Rabia Massad, freehand sketching some badassery. And then we send it to Svi, who turns it into something a little bit more kind of blueprinty. And then we send that to Korea, and they designed a full-on CAD
3D scanning thing,
robot version.
So he's digitising the sketches as we speak.
So headstock's being
money.
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be good. So we'll have pretty much an idea of how the whole thing will look when he gets back.
Yeah, basically YouTube videos keep you updated. Sort of every couple of weeks as and when we go through the voting stage.
But it's good to take time over it because it's really exciting.
And if you get bored waiting, just learn to play a proper instrument.
Well, because Dave did.
Yeah, Dave did, right.
Yeah, everyone in my band can play drums and bass, apart from Ben.
But he is actually a drummer.
He's actually a drummer, but I can't play drums or bass. I can play one thing on the bass, but I can better play guitar.
Right.
One more question. No, there's one more person with a question.
Question for Pablo. Oh.
Where is it?
Come here. Come here. Hither.
Am I not in shot?
Hither.
Good.
Swap places.
Swap places. Right.
What sort of steps would you need to take to become sort of a proper sort of guitar technician like you?
Fail at everything. Run out of all money and then talk to him.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to be the hardest working motherfucker on a tour, so that the second you needed something, it's already there. So that the second you want a drink, he's got it. The second you needed to think about.
Sorry, force of habit.
If it wasn't for Pablo, well, the time I humped my guitar into the deck, having sex with it
Can we not do that again?
I wouldn't have another guitar. You know, the number of things that Pabs does is crazy. But I think it's a work ethic of I'm going to get everything done, even if it's above and way beyond the Call of Duty. Get it done. That's something that Pablo has. Other than the fact he's a great tech, it's that work ethic. You know. Anything else? You couldn't know what you're doing, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was a carpenter for 10 years plus before doing the guitar stuff, so that helps. And I mean, the guitar stuff was a hobby. It was just something I did, and then started to work out that actually you can make money at it. So started doing that, and found this bloke, this one, on YouTube, and the rest is kind of history, really.
It's really, isn't it?
That's true, made in a Burger King restaurant, I seem to remember.
It was, yes.
That was random, yeah. We met over cooked meat.
Yes.
I say cooked.
You say meat. Warmed up hedgehog.
The thing is, there aren't many techs around. I mean, you look for them, there aren't many around. So
it's a tough job, I think.
It is
a tough job.
Yeah, you get told what to do all day long by people that are artists and think they know better.
We're very lucky at Andertons. We've got 2 or 3 good techs. Gavin, Pablo, another guy that we use occasionally called Rich. But yeah, really, it's an art, you know. And you bring in your pride and joy that's feeling a little bit under the weather, and they're like doctors, aren't they? They make it better. So,
talking of which, how is this gentleman's PRS doing?
That's right. Do you want to test it?
I'd like to test it.
Should we?
No pressure here or nothing. But
outro on the testing of a.
We'll outro on the testing of your guitar.
Is that all right? We'll fade to black with the testing of this.
How do we fade to black? We could just like gradually put a hand in front of the camera.
Or I could just press the fade button. You know.
That would be good, yeah.
Fade button.
Well, fuck up.
DIY. The button won't work.
Why is there an Apple sticker on the back of your?
Because it's better than
you
a
get
PC.
shed legend when you get an iPhone.
Yeah, it's better.
Do it. Well, can someone turn the silly reverb off? Just turn it off.
It wasn't there, now it is. But yeah, play this. You'll absolutely love this guitar. Okay. Could you own it?
come here and destroy this thing.
We're going to fade out on the amazing Rabia Massad destroying this guitar. Really? I don't mean destroying literally, though.
Should we say goodbye then?
Yeah. I've been Rob Chapman.
I've been the Captain.
And you've been people on the internet and in real life. We love you all. And this is Rabia Nassar from Georgia.
That's the Univibe. Hendrix. Right, go to the pub. So, is it ad breaking now? So we can speak freely?
Yep.
I can't help myself.
Thank you very much to Mayblanc for the bottle of Kraken.
Dave.
What is Kraken?
Mayblanc got me a bottle of Kraken.
Where's that made?
With.
It sounds evil.
Wish you
Let
Merry
me
Christmas.
see. Let me see.
Runting.
You know it's going to kill you because it's made in Glasgow.